The gavel hadn't fallen yet, but the sound was already in my bones. "She is mentally sick." My mother screamed, voice cracking the way it always did when she needed an audience. I stayed silent. Silence has weight. I let it press down on the room. The judge didn't look at me. He looked at her attorney, calm, curious. "Do you truly have no idea who she is?" he asked. That's when the attorney froze. That's when my mother's face went pale. I'd imagined this moment 1,000 times. I'd practiced it the way surgeons practice incisions, steady hands, no tremor. Still, when it arrived, my pulse didn't race. It slowed. That's how I knew I'd already won. I was raised to believe loyalty was oxygen. My mother taught it to me with smiles and schedules, with praise that felt like warmth and rules that felt like love. She told me the world was dangerous and that she was the only safe place in it. I believed her because belief was cheaper than doubt. Until it wasn't. The first crack was small. A bank statement that didn't align. A signature that looked like mine but wasn't. She laughed when I asked about it. Touched my cheek, said stress was getting to me. "You've always been sensitive," she said. "Just like your father, he'd left early." I learned later why. I didn't confront her again. I learned instead. I learned how gaslighting sounds when it's dressed as concern. I learned how control hides inside caretaking. I learned that calling someone unwell is the fastest way to confiscate their voice. The day one found that trust documents was the day grief turned into architecture. My name. My inheritance rewritten, redirected, contingent on my mental stability. Certified by doctors she paid and lawyers. She'd known longer than I'd been alive. I remember sitting on the floor, papers spread like a crime scene, and thinking, so this is the story she plans to tell about me. I didn't cry. One drafted. For 2 years, I became boring. I smiled. I missed holidays. I complied. I let her speak for me in rooms where my presence was optional. All the while, I collected what she thought I couldn't understand. Emails, audio, the pattern of money moving when it shouldn't, or doctors who never examined me. The attorney who filed motions before conversations. I set up mirrors everywhere and waited for them to forget they were being watched. I found better doctors, independent ones. I found a forensic accountant who spoke softly and worked like a locksmith. I found a judge who believed in paper more than personalities. I found patience. When you've been underestimated your whole life, time works for you. The court date arrived disguised as another intervention. Another attempt to declare me unfit. Another room where they expected me to break. My mother practiced her performance in the hallway. Mascara already prepared to run. "She's unstable," she said to anyone listening. "I just want to protect her." Protection is just possession with better branding. So there we were, her scream still vibrating in the air. My silence still doing its work. The judge nodded once, then looked at the clerk. "Enter Exhibit A through L." The screen lit up. Bank transfers, dates, signatures, a voicemail played, my mother's voice, sharp and transactional. Discussing how to manage my diagnosis to keep control of the trust, another followed. Her attorney advising discretion, not denial. The room shifted. You could feel it. When gravity changes, when truth walks in without raising its voice. My mother turned to me. Her eyes searched for the daughter she could still command. "She didn't find her." "This is a misunderstanding," her attorney said, standing too quickly. The judge raised a hand. "No," he replied. "This is a pattern." That's when I spoke. One sentence, calm, measured. "I never needed to prove I was sane," I said. "Only that they weren't honest." The ruling came clean and sharp. Guardianship denied. Trust restored. Emergency review ordered into fraud and coercion. The word sanctions floated through the air like a benediction. My mother sat down hard. She looked smaller without the story she'd wrapped herself in. Power does that, it abandons you the moment it's named. Outside, cameras waited. I walked past them. Vindication doesn't need a quote. That night, alone, I replayed the judge's question in my head. "Do you truly have no idea who she is?" He hadn't been asking about me. Justice isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It files motions early and waits. I don't hate my mother. Hate would imply she still occupies space inside me. She doesn't. What she taught me unintentional is. That silence can be a strategy, and truth doesn't need theatrics to win. People think revenge is fire. It isn't, it's ice. It's choosing the long route and enjoying the view when the trap finally closes. By morning, the trust's voting rights had reverted. By afternoon, her attorney had withdrawn. By evening, I slept without rehearsing conversations that would never happen. There's a freedom in knowing you were never broke, just mischaracterized. And when I think back to that moment, to her scream and my stillness, I don't feel triumph. I feel alignment. The quiet click of a lock opening. She tried to write my ending for me. I edited it,